Hey, all, welcome to my channel. You know what? I forgot the beer. Give me 1 second. Here's the beer. Of course, the BJs Brewhouse Beer Club. Says founding member, but that's not totally true. It's a 20-ounce glass, pretty much it. This is, of course, the beer, the Imperial Pilsner, a robust German-style Pilsner. Let's see, 1.9 and 9.4 ounces. Alcohol level is 6.9, and the IBU is 28. The description they have is everything you expect from a traditional German-style Pilsner and more. Brewed with German malts and hops for authentic flavor in larger amounts than a traditional Pilsner. The result is a full-flavored pale lager with bready malt sweetness, balanced by earthy and spicy hops. The perfect Pilsner for the winter months. Promise to open this thing up. It's like you see here, it's a cork. They have you do it by, like, it's not easy to do it unless there's some kind of tool out there. Use it to use the what's that called? Teeth. So here's the pour. Oops. Okay, I goofed on that part. Now, some say basically you should try to minimize the amount of head that gets generated, that gets created when you're pouring the glass. In reality, that's not entirely true. You do want the head to be forming because you want the gas that was in the beer to basically generate itself so that it dissipates eventually. Because if you don't have it when you're drinking this, that gas is going to bloat up into your stomach. So you want that, pretty much there. Plus, it also creating that head or foam, the foam in this case, also adds the allure and added flavor, I would say. I'm kind of curious to see how this tastes out, to be quite honest. All right, on for my first taste. It does taste like a Pilsner. I just realized that this thing is up high. Sorry about that. It's not bad. I don't taste the hoppiness that it's supposed to be there. I do taste the maltiness though. I thought pilsners would be a little more hoppier. Not as much as hoppy as an IPA, but still hoppy as a pilsner. But not like a typical Czech pilsner. Put it that way. Those Czech pilsners are really, really good. I won't deny that. Um, hmm. It's kind of curious. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how this all works in the long term with these beers. Um, why I say that is because basically, um, it's one of those things where sorry, I'm just doing one quick thing for work. Apologize again. Just doing something very quickly. If anyone's sending a chat, I don't see it. I don't see anyone live, so it is what it is. Anyways, let's do this. I should share my screen in this case, but I can't because, well, first off, it's on a completely different box. So, now I have to revoke. Damn. How do I do this? I apologize. I am taking care of something right now, and it's a little time consuming. Good. Apologies again. I'm doing some work, but like I said, it is very refreshing. Very, very refreshing. The Imperial Plus. I think I've done this before. I think they might have done this last year. I think I might have reviewed it last year. I'm not entirely sure. I've done so many videos now. I have no idea. But rating of 1 out of 5. It does go down smooth. I won't deny that. It does go down really smooth. I'm gonna have to say this. Rating out of 1 out of 5, I would give this surprisingly 4. 4 out of 5. I would rate it 4 out of 5 in this situation. 4 to 5 stars, whatever you want to call it. 4 out of 5. Beer mugs. But this is something that's, you know what? I think I did taste this last year around this exact same time. I could be wrong, but it was definitely around this time around here this time last year. I would say, yeah, definitely around this time, sometime last year. Basically, I'm pretty sure of that. And by the way, this is for the month of January and February. So for this beer, plus there's the cans. I'll get the can another time and I'll review that. For those that are BJ's Brewhouse Beer Club members, it seems like they're only on the West Coast, specifically in California. I could have sworn I saw something in Oregon or Washington State, maybe Arizona. I could have sworn that. You know what? Hold on. Let me take a look and see. Sorry. Got to go down to my laptop Surface and check it out. BJ's Brew House. You know what? Ooh, I'm supposed to sign in. Come on. Oh boy. 64. Number 65. Sorry, that was just a Microsoft authentication to log into Bing, basically. Let's see. Refresh that sucker. It should show up now. Okay. Locations. BJ's Restaurants and Brewhouse. Let's see the locations that they have. Yeah, I don't mind. You can allow. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. I don't care about takeout. Bloody hell. This site, not always that great. But it looks like it's only a SoCal thing. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I was going on the basis of factors based on the fact that their brewery was in other locations. Like someone had mentioned basically. Someone had mentioned from BJ's that, hey, we have locations in, like some of their brew houses were in New Mexico and whatnot. So I'm a little surprised, quite honestly, that they're only in Southern California. I could be wrong. I thought it was in Northern California too. Oh, Good grief. Why can't I just see all the locations? Founded in Santa Ana, California. I had no idea. Okay. I never seen one in Santa Ana, California, but okay. All right, you know what? List locations for BJs Brew or BJs Brew House. I am so sorry for that. I don't want to find a location near me. I just want to list all the locations. Okay, number of BJ restaurant locations in the USA. 216 locations. Yes. See, as we see, there are 216 locations. So it's not just a Southern California thing. Okay, so it's in 30 different states slash territories. Texas, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Oregon, Washington. It's Utah. What's next to Utah? I don't know what's next to Utah. It shows a map here, but it doesn't really tell me what it is. West Virginia? No, actually, I think that's Georgia. There's one in Georgia, Florida, definitely in the Florida area, Floridian area, Louisiana, Texas. I should know my states. One in Illinois, Ohio, and Indiana. Some in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and it looks like New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. Looks like Delaware. No, that's Maryland, actually. Sorry. Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, or Mississippi. I don't know. I forgot what that state would be. Anyways, we saw it basically. And I'm like, there's more locations basically as I thought. So I was off. Anyways. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to move this down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Pouring some more. Okay, that was a bad pour. That was a very, very bad pour. I do apologize for that. That was a very bad pour, indeed. As you can see, basically, like the foam that grew, it's much bigger than it normally is, but that was a bad pour. I should have said otherwise, but yeah, that's my own fault, unfortunately. And I accept that. I'll accept that. Yeah, okay, whatever. Sorry, that was work related as well, too. Dun, dun, dun. You know what? Let's put this prod. Dev QA, QA, QA. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I also got to do this one. don't know how that works, but okay. Revoking that privilege. Revoking that privilege. Okay, so that doesn't exist. Revoking this privilege. Revoking this privilege. Okay. Done. So now. Oh boy. What am I doing? Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm working, but still okay. Let's finish this bad boy up. Super Bowl. You know what? I'll talk about the Super Bowl much later. I won't talk about it now because we have plenty of time for that. Let's see what happens, injuries and whatnot. I mean, it's the Chiefs versus the 49ers. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Honestly, it should have been the Lions, but the Lions goofed on their end. The Chiefs, the Ravens. As I said, basically the Ravens gave them the win. It should have been the Ravens. It was just like bad mistakes on the Ravens' part. So, it is what it is. I mean, I would have loved to see the Ravens versus the 49ers one more time just to see, just for the hell of it. But now it's the Chiefs versus the 49ers. So it'll be interesting to see how Purdy comes out. I want to see what happens after this Super Bowl, after playing against. You know what? I want to see how he plays against better defenses, like the Cowboys defense, which unfortunately they didn't get a chance to play against. Well, they played against them in the regular season, against other teams as well too. Like the Detroit Lions defense, I think they can improve much better for sure. They could definitely improve on that, and whatnot. Bill Belichick, I mean, with Vrabel, I thought would have definitely been hired for sure from someone. But I think the fact that both Vrabel and Belichick wanted full control of personnel, I think that's what basically sort of drew, basically drew all the owners away from them, or all the pretty much the franchises away from them, because, or distance themselves because of the fact that, like, I don't think they want to give them that much complete autonomy. I mean, sometimes it's great, but sometimes it's not great. I mean, like with Belichick, 72, he's old. Why would you do that? You might as well have the existing. If you have an existing roster, that's great, but it sucked because the coaching sucked. Then that'd be a different story. Like if Belichick went to the Cowboys, he could definitely win another 2 or 3 Super Bowls with that team. Basically, with that team alone, I think he could win another 2 or 3 Super Bowls. With Vrabel, Commanders, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the Commanders work with the dude that's coming out of the Dallas Cowboys defense, the defensive coordinator for Dallas, playing for the Washington Commanders, being their head coach. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Honestly, Atlanta, of course, filling their rosters, their managerial spot or head coach spot. Well, of course, San Diego was going to get Jim Harbaugh because, well, Why not? Because not why not? It's more because like Jim Harbaugh sees Herbert as one of those generational talents, just like Andrew Luck was before he got injured and had to retire early. But Herbert is one of those generational talents. I think he sees that as well too. I wish the Giants had drafted him when they had the chance, but they didn't. It kind of sucks. I'm hoping, like Trevor Lawrence, everyone's saying, like after what happened this year, it's like, oh, well, he's regressing. I don't think so. I think he's learning because, like, remember the first 2 years, he really wasn't learning. It was just more of like he kind of was not in the right environment. I think he's in the right environment now, and I think he learned this year compared to the last year. I think he learned this season basically what happened. So like, look for this upcoming season for him to go all out. I think Jacksonville, if they get a couple more players, I think they become a dominant force, just like what the Houston Texans were or it are. CJ Stroud showing full well his capabilities. Jalen Hurts, I don't want to say he's going to regress. I don't want to say it's coming down to a similarity of what uh, Cam Newton was, where Cam Newton was really, really good, and once he got to the Super Bowl, kind of went downhill from there. I mean, we were seeing that towards the tail end of the season with Jalen Hurts. Honestly, it kind of sucks for Jalen Hurts, but as a Giants fan, I don't mind. Honestly, the real question is, what do the Giants do? You've got Daniel Jones paying him $40 million a year for 4 years. I don't know what they do. It's kind of sad to see. Oh, sorry. I got to do one quick thing. Provisioning create. Consumer. Not PII. Actually, I think I've gone longest. Today's got the longest I've ever gone. No, that's not true. I think I've talked more than 30 minutes, close to 30 minutes in a live. But then again, I haven't been talking as much per se. So I don't know what to say about that. Um, uh, I still have a Pixel 5. I'm debating of getting a Pixel 8, honestly. I don't know if I want a Pixel 8. One second. I don't know if I want a Pixel 8. To the point where phones are great and all, but it's really what you're buying for is the camera and some functionality. I mean, honestly, the Pixel 8 versus the Samsung 24, Ultra 24. I mean, honestly, I just need something to like work properly for me where I can make phone calls. My Pixel 5 is doing decent, but now when it comes to phone calls, like unless I put it on speaker, I can't really hear it from the headset properly. It's like when I'm talking to someone, I can't hear them. I have to put it on speaker and then I can hear them. So I think there's some issues with my phone in that situation. What else? Maybe debating. Maybe I should. Maybe the iPhone 15. Maybe the iPhone 15. I'm not sure entirely. I mean, I wouldn't be out totally against it, quite honestly. Okay. Okay, grant developer access. Okay. Now, that's that. I'm sorry. I'm still talking. I'm still working when you know what? I'm doing more work than I should be doing, but you know what? Yeah. That is a good Pilsner. That is a really good Pilsner. You know, one of the drawbacks of working remote, you can get easily distracted at home unless you know how to create that environment where like you're totally isolated from your family life and whatnot. It's very hard to like do that in certain cases. I mean, let's say kids are like, you know, if you have kids, I don't have kids in this situation, but if you have kids, you know, if they're, you know, at school, then hey, you're great. You're golden at that. Not golden, but at least you're semi okay in that situation. However, if you have the kids at home at that point, it's kind of hard because you got to like make sure you watch out for them, make sure they're not doing anything crazy, they don't hurt themselves, etc. Basically, and so it's one of those things where you can get easily distracted. Similarly, if your wife, who's possibly a housewife or just her, she's also, I don't want to say working from home, but maybe she's on vacation, whatever it may be. You got to deal with all that stuff as well too. For me, it's a case where I get easily distracted. I don't want to. I always thought I had H or ADD or HD, whatever it is called, ADHD. I don't know if that's the case. I think it's more of a case where it's, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say I have a short attention span, but I can get bored very easily. And I don't know if that's a sign of either short attention span or ADD. But then there are cases where I am focused, listening on the person and all that stuff. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Because like, if I could listen for a person or listen to something for like close to like an hour to 2 hours and listen intently, you know, it's a different story. It's just, it's whatever the subject matter is that, you know, intrigues me at that point. I won't deny this. I will not deny this part. With alcohol, beer or wine or spirits, whatever it may be, I don't want to say with a little inebriation, but some, you know, a little, or at least getting a little buzz, it does increase my, I don't want to say objectivity, but it does increase my focus onto whatever I'm doing, basically. I don't know why, but somehow I'm always seems to be focusing whatever it is when when, you know, rather than changing the subject, something like that. Whereas for me, whereas I'm not inebriated or not buzzing at least, well, actually, if I'm inebriated, I'm totally focused. If I'm buzzing, I'm still focused, but I can't, you know, change the subject on a drop of a dime, basically. So it's one of those things where I think I need to, I don't know. Hold on one second. Hello? Hello? Sorry that there was something that was there for some reason. this is a great opportunity to talk about the fact is like, I'm sorry, great opportunity to talk about the fact. Also, by the way, if you still are here watching this video, I know there's no, I'm live, but I haven't seen anyone join. So chances are when this becomes, like one of those, videos that you can see through historically, if you're still watching this or fast forwarding this, it's interesting with BJ's itself. I missed out on the pizza last year. That was a mistake on my part. I goofed on the pizza last year. I should have gotten that pizza, but I goofed on that. And that was my own fault. And I accept that. I was trying to give it off to see, not last, last quarter, last beer month, I guess, whatever it may be. I missed out on it. I should have given it to someone that had BJ's beer, BJ's nearby them. I was ready to give it to someone else, like my wife's cousin, but they didn't want it because they had too many pizzas. I'm like, great. There's no one else I can give it to at this point, where there's a BJ's brewhouse and restaurant nearby them where I can give them that pizza. But knowing now I can do this, I could probably eat a pizza now at this point as well too. But the thing is, I've got to be careful. I got to look at my what you would say basically is my cholesterol level. That's a huge thing for me. The cholesterol, I haven't gone to a doctor for a checkup in almost, oh my goodness, close to 3 years since I was married. So 2021. So since August or September of 2021. No, maybe October. Since October of 2021, I have not gone for a checkup with a doctor. I think maybe it might be that time actually. I will say, another thing I should say. I was flying in from New York and I was watching the movie Dumb Money. I mean, it's not any different or not any whatever, but it's like, okay, whatever. It is what it is with Dumb Money. I mean, it was just basically about the Wall Street bets and the dude that pretty much started off the GameStop short squeeze, basically. It's more of a case because he figured like, hey, it was undervalued and everyone else jumped in on it. Thing is like there are some companies out there that are definitely undervalued. I would love to find a company I would love to know a company that's really truly undervalued. Like I want to say Lucid. Actually, you know what? Hold on, let me see this. Might as well take a look and see. Finance.google.com. Sorry. LCID. It's at $3.31. Wow, that's dropped considerably. Let's see what it was 5 days ago. 5 days ago, the lowest it was at 275. The lowest it was 1 month ago was 265 on January 18th. Is that the lowest it's ever been? No. I think it is. Yeah, 265 has been the lowest it's ever been. You know what? Some say that Lucid won't survive. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I'm hoping that's not the case, but could be wrong. Could be wrong about that. Why? Because it's not Tesla. I'm not talking about Tesla, but it's BYD. BYD is becoming the new big norm at this point, quite honestly. If BYD is becoming bigger and better, not bigger and better, but it is becoming bigger because the fact is like, I don't want to say it's because it's a Chinese company, but I think because the fact is they have logistically speaking, down pat, similar to what Tesla has it down pat, except maybe much better. Logistically speaking, like the way Apple has been able to streamline their operational process of manufacturing these, their goods, like the iPhone, the MacBooks, etc. All their items, all their products, basically, they've been able to streamline when it comes to manufacturing them and all that stuff. That BYD is able to streamline it to the point where, like, if BYD were to come to the US market, I will not deny this, but I will be the first. I'll be one of the people that would actually jump on that bandwagon with BYD. Why? Here's the reason why. Our buddy Warren Buffett put a hell of a lot of money into BYD. So I would not be surprised if BYD coming to the US increases their market capitalization even more, or to the point where, like, they may overtake Tesla very quickly if they were to enter the US market. Problem is the reason why they can't enter the US market just yet is, actually, I don't know why they don't enter the US market. I'm thinking it's because of the fact of, like, the US has some serious restrictions and whatnot, basically, and that's why they're not allowing them to come in there. But just like the Japanese car industry back in the 80s, China is becoming a behemoth when it comes to manufacturing items. When it comes to electric cars, they're becoming a massive behemoth at this point. Similarly to, like, items themselves as well too. I don't know actually what the quality of the BYD cars are, but if they're just as good as a Tesla, just as good as the other foreign cars, like the Japanese market as well as the German market, i.e., Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Toyota, Nissan, electric cars, as well as Hyundais and Kias, Koreans, electric cars as well too. If China enters this market and they have a better pricing point than all the others, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind BYDs coming out into the US to the point where, like, they could reduce, or not reduce, but more so create more competition to Tesla and drive the prices even down further. I think that would be a great opportunity. And I'm done with the Pilsner. That was amazing. Anyways, to that point, sorry, give me 1 second. Back view. Privilege. QA. Is this 1 volt? Yes, this was 1 volt. QA. Deployment port. Apologies. Dun, dun, dun. All right, that's good there. All right, let's see. What else do I need to do? Hey, Mr. Sean. Sorry. I have no idea what I just said that, but whatever. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, snap. Okay, that's not a problem there. You know what? I am going to be upfront with you people. Inflation is a bitch. It's a bitch. I won't deny that. I make X amount of money. I make a good amount of money, and I am still practically living paycheck to paycheck, basically. And I wish that wasn't the case, but that's what it is. And I'm not paying for a lot, though. I mean, I am in Southern California, Southern California in Orange County. I'm not paying for the property tax or anything like that, but I am paying, rent is definitely high up there. Uh, I My math was off a little bit when I selected this thing, but I had to choose 2 bedrooms. I wish I didn't have to do 2 bedrooms, but that's what I had to come down to at that point. If I had a choice to find somewhere else, I would find somewhere else. But the complex we're in, it's a pretty good complex. So I'm not going to deny that. And we're close to a couple of us, two major metropolises. So that's pretty good at that point. And when I say 2 major metropolises, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Honestly, we're close to 3 metropolises, but it doesn't take a genius to figure that part out. Anyways, that's all it's doing. Anyways, but one of the things is living in California can be very expensive, very, very expensive. I don't understand why, but it's very expensive. And Newsom, I'm not going to blame it on Newsom, but the whole system itself needs to fix itself. It needs to fix itself. The government needs to fix itself to the point where inflation has to be under control. And unfortunately, it's not. That's the sad part about it. You can't control inflation because the fact is in California, they're going after all the tech workers because, hey, we're getting, tech workers make X amount of money. They're like, if you make more than $100,000, hey, we should tax you even more. I'm like, is that proper now, considering when inflationary aspects come into play? Maybe raise those tax levels, that you think was what Clinton did with $250,000 or $200,000, raise it up to maybe $700,000. Honestly, because $200,000, or I think it was 200, yeah, $200,000 93 now is equivalent to now what it is now is close to $1 million. I'm not making $1 million. I'll be upfront with you that there's no way I'm making $1 million. Am I making $500,000? Nope. Am I making $300,000? Nope. So am I making $200,000? Nope. So honestly, I love working remote, but I love staying in the States. But the problem is if this is what it is, I might as well go to another state. This is why you see a lot of Californians leaving the state of California to Texas because there's no state tax. The cost of living is much cheaper there. And the thing is, they're still being paid California salaries. So let's say a person in California is being paid $200,000 in California. They're barely making ends meet. But going to Texas, they're living large. I mean, honestly, you're going to see a more massive migration of people away from California to other states, to Texas, to Tennessee, i.e., Nashville, to other major metropolises, Florida as well too. I mean, you're seeing a lot of New Yorkers going into Florida. Don't be surprised if you're seeing Californians going to Florida at that point as well too. I will say this. Do not be surprised for the Midwestern states like Nebraska, Iowa, Idaho. If they could create their own, well, granted, they don't have their own sports teams and all that stuff, but creating their major metropolises, if you can grow them out at that point, don't be surprised people, big cities become more bustling. Oklahoma, with Oklahoma City and Tulsa, they will become big at this point because, honestly, I wouldn't mind going out there. The only difference is those tornadoes, but I don't think there's a huge problem with that. I think it's more of a case, you know what? For me, with Oklahoma, the only reason why I don't go to Oklahoma is more so because the fact is it's kind of a redneck state. I don't want to say it's a redneck state. Sorry, it's not a redneck state. Let me correct myself. It's not a redneck state, but it's got that stereotype as a redneck state. And that's what the whole problem is. Like Texas is definitely a redneck state, but it's not a redneck state. It's a red state. Cities within Texas, depending on where you're at, not all of them are like that. Like San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Houston, they're not like that. Whereas, like in Oklahoma City is definitely not like that. Tulsa is definitely not like that. At least I don't think so because I've never been, but I would love to. I need to go visit there one time. Anyways, outside of that, etc. Basically. So, like I said, in that situation, it's a whole different beast altogether. And I would like to say this is, I think this is the longest I've ever gone in my live, basically. Um, let's step back a little bit. Let's step back. I know I was talking. This video is more about talking about like my review of the Imperial Pilsner, but again, 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars. Actually, you know what? It usually tells me like who brews it. Bottled and brewed by BJ's Brewhouse, Temple, Texas, but it doesn't say who it was brewed by. Wow. Okay. Usually they partner up with BJ's Brewhouse. Usually partners up with someone. It looks like they made it themselves. I will say thumbs up to BJ's Brewhouse for the pills that you brewed yourself. Anyways, let's go on to the point where I was talking about this, which was basically the states, redneck states, etc. Blah blah blah. I don't like to say redneck states, but it's a situation where people education plays a huge factor. Education plays a huge factor. I've never seen educated people being racist, specifically if they go to college universities where it's diverse in culture and diverse. There's a lot of diversity with culture in those universities. I think it's more of a case where, look, I'll be honest. Yes, I'm not going to deny this, but yeah, illegal immigrants, it does hurt a little bit, honestly. I mean, but the problem is I can understand the whole problem with them. Basically, is they can't wait for that whole immigration process. It kind of sucks because the fact is they're looking for a better way of life. They're trying to look for a sort of asylum. It's basically asylum. That's what they're looking for. The problem is they just can't wait for the paperwork, all the red tape they got to go through. And the problem is they've got to come. They're coming up here because they need the money. They need to supply, provide for their families. And where they're at, it's not going to happen either because of the fact it's horrible conditions or horrible working conditions, horrible economic conditions, or 3, horrible crime conditions, i.e., cartels and whatnot. Basically, and that's why you're trying to come up there, get the money, and hopefully bring your family up there at that point as well too. And I'm not going to deny that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it can be at the same time because the fact is the strain on the U.S. government system plays a big factor. And I hate to say this, being a New Yorker myself, when the Texas governor was shipping all these illegal immigrants to New York, to New York, and New York all of a sudden, when we were complaining, it's oh, why are you talking about where these illegal immigrants? And then New Yorkers all of a sudden whoa, we're getting whoa. Everyone's a hypocrite. Everyone's a hypocrite until everyone thinks thinks of others until it starts affecting them, and then they become hypocrites, and they're whoa, hold on, blah. I mean, that's the whole thing. We're all hypocrites. Let's not deny that. Everyone's a hypocrite. No one's a saint. Well, 97 to 98% of the people are pretty much non-saints. Let's be honest. There are some that there's that 1% that are absolute saints that They don't care. They're all for whatever it is, basically. And like they don't think of themselves, they think of others more than anything else. But when it affects them directly and their families, if it affects the families, they become like whatever. So, but anyways, I'm just gonna go for another 6 more minutes, 4 more minutes before I hit the 1 hour. I've never had it actually hit the 1 hour mark on a live, so hey, let's do this. Um, now I have to say though is I forgot I deleted OBS. There was some issues. I had to uninstall OBS, so now I'm just going studio, live studio. But in any case, sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, what's up? Okay. All right, just walk around the whole. Go from Maz and then go around towards Trader Joe's and then come back. That's about. I don't want to say that's a mile, but that's close to a mile basically. Yeah, that's like half a mile basically. Quite honestly. Nah, you could hold it in. If you walk, then you should be good. In the car, yeah, you could leave it in the car. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. All right. Bye. Sorry, talking to the wife at that point. Anyways, what should I be talking about? Yeah, I don't know what I should be talking about. Give me 1 second. I have to go pee. Apologies again. I did have to go to the bathroom. I mean, I don't want to say a weak bladder, but I also did drink water beforehand. So, by the way, it's always good to stay hydrated. Water really helps out. I do have another channel where I'm showing about my weight and all stuff. I haven't been posting it every day, unfortunately. I would love to do that, but I've been busy and all that stuff, and a lot of things have been going on, unfortunately. So, but I will say this. I will say this. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. The beer itself doesn't help, though. I'll be honest with that. The beer does not help with the weight loss. Um, but in any case, let's talk about the fact is like there is no beer club membership where you actually meet other beer club members. Like there's no gathering. And that's one of the things I truly, truly miss. As I said, if you've seen my other videos, I talked about the fact is like Toby's Public Ale House. They had a great beer club membership. It was a great beer club membership where you meet other beer club members. You interact with them. I don't want to say became good friends with one, but I became friends with one. He's getting married. Actually, you know what? I forgot to follow with him because I've been so busy. I know he got engaged. Congrats to him. I gotta see when he's getting married again. I think it's later on in the summer. He better invite me because if he doesn't invite me, I'll be a little angry. But then again, I didn't unfortunately could invite him because the fact is like I was limited to my wedding at that point as well too. But in any case, What should I say? What should I say about? But yeah, sorry. The fact is like being a beer club member, you would figure in the Southern California area, at least the Southern California area, there's got to be something where we all can meet up. I would love for the BJ's company, BJ's Restaurant and Brewhouse Company, or whatever it's called. Honestly, I would love for them to hey, let's all meet. Let's go to Anaheim. I think that's the closest one to everyone. Basically, go to Anaheim, that convention center over there. Hey, let's just all meet up and talk and enjoy some of the beers, blah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And well, don't charge us, of course, because if you got to charge us tickets, no one's gonna go because we're paying for a freaking beer club anyway. So why would you bother? Because with Toby's Public Ale House, Christina. Oh, you know what? I forgot her name now. I forgot the owner's name. Oh, that's my own fault. Anyways, Christina from Toby's Public Ale House, when she owned it for those two, the one in Brooklyn and the one in Soho, it was by far the one in Soho, by far the greatest. I don't want to say the greatest, but it was great. Pizza, good food, good camaraderie, good beer, and whatnot. Unfortunately, she was losing money in the Soho area because the fact is she had to drop the prices, but the other factor is the lease or rent was much more higher than the one in Brooklyn. I wish the one in Brooklyn still existed, but she had to close that one out too. I think because the fact is for other reasons as well too. Sorry, for other reasons as well too. But it is what it is. Also, by the way, I'm so sorry if you've stayed on for this long. I applaud you. I humbly, graciously thank you for staying on this long. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like my video, like my content, like my channel, please, please subscribe. You're welcome to leave a comment once this becomes, permanent. You're welcome to leave a comment. And I do read all my comments and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. Quite honestly, I think I made what did I do? 2 years ago, I did make a public statement where if I reach 1 million views, I will do one of those popular dances on TikTok, aka TikTok and YouTube Shorts, etc. If I get to 10 million subscribers, not 1 million views, sorry, 1 million subscribers. If I got to 10 million subscribers, I will do that same dance, but at the location of the choice of users with the poll, basically whatever the most popular poll is. They say it's in the White House, in the Oval Office. I will do it. So put it this way: if I'm to do I know I'm outdating myself, but if I was to do the floss, and you want me to do the floss in the Oval Office, I will do the floss in the Oval Office and record it live. So, but in any case, I'll leave it at that. But definitely got over an hour. I think this is the longest I've ever been on a live. I don't know why I've been going on long, but then again, I'm also doing some work. And doing some work a little buzzed. You know what? I realized when I ever do some work when I'm buzzed, I actually do really, really, really good work. So I'll just leave it at that. I should say something more, but I'm contemplating to the point of what should I focus my content on? I would love to do this BJ's Brewhouse review, but it's only every 2 months. Love to have done it every month. That would have been great if we could do a beer club membership, beer club meetup every month for BJ's. But I know that doesn't happen, unfortunately. It's every 2 months. I would also like to see, you know what? Maybe I can create a meetup. But I don't know. I don't want to pay for the meetup because with meetup.com, you have to pay. And I refuse to pay to organize an event when the organizer, the main distributors themselves or the main company themselves should be organizing themselves. But in any case, I mean, there should be a regional thing as well too. Like when I see regional, like specific towns, they don't do that in the towns themselves, and that kind of sucks. But anyways, I will say this. Sorry, with BJ's, it's great. There's also the other aspect of improv. The improv. I wish the improv had one of their membership created a membership type of thing, because I've gone to quite a number of me and my wife have gone to quite a number of improv shows in the past year of 2023. 2024 we haven't, but I will not be surprised if we go to more as well too. I would love to see, like if there was a membership, that would be great. But in any case, I'll just leave it at that. As of course, if you're new to the channel, if you're still stuck around this long, if you're new to the channel, you see right now, this is what I am. This is how I go off the cuff, off the top of my head, whatever it may be. I don't even have it scripted. I don't even edit. This is why going live. It's live, baby. Any case, I'll leave it at that. But I'm always unfiltered, unedited, of course, as always, unrehearsed. And if you, again, please leave a comment in the comment section. I do respond to all my comments. I do read them. I do read all my comments, and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. Now, if it's a question on the video itself where you go outside of the topic, what the conversation was, what the context of the video was, it depends. May or may not answer the question, but in any case, I will still try to answer to the best of my abilities. But outside of that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed. Until next time. Oh, it's not ending.